Hi, I'm Nicola from NJ Fitness and Massage, and today I'm going to show you how to take your measurements. So we're always looking at taking your measurements right at the beginning of a course, right at the end, and if you are going to do it throughout, then do it on the same day that you've done it each week. So if you start off on a Monday morning, do your measurements on a Monday morning, the next week do your measurements on a Monday morning. Try not to do it too much in between. The reason being is your weight will fluctuate, as will your measurements. So you might find you start getting a little bit disappointed, or you might not be getting the measurements that you want. So ignore doing it every day, because it can become really obsessive, and that's not a healthy trait that we want to have. So we just want to be doing it, if you're going to do it weekly, on the same morning or the same time that you do it each week. If not, if you can resist, go for day one and then the last day of your course as well. So the measurements are so important. If we do not write down our measurements, we will not know about the amazing progress that we have made. So very important, whenever you do your measurements, get your bit of paper down. I like to do it in a journal, so I've got a little book that I write down all my measurements in as and when I do them, and it's a really good way of tracking your progress, making sure that you're achieving your goals. So I've got a small tape measure here. It doesn't have to be anything special. If you're local to me, I'm very happy to do these for you. If you're not local to me, then they're super easy. I'm just going to show you how to do them. So we're going to be taking measurements from our bust, our waist, our bum, our thighs and our arms. So I'm going to show you first of all how to do your bust. So what we're doing is we're going all the way around the biggest part. We always aim to go around the biggest part of the bust. So once you've done it, you check where you are, check that you're even, and then you write down your score. The next part we're going to do is our waist. Now ideally in line with our belly button. So wherever your belly button might be, that is where we're going to be taking our measurement. However, you might want to go from the biggest part, but what you need to do is every single time you do the same space. Your belly button doesn't tend to move, therefore it's a very good tracker. It's a good marker for you. So again, we just take our measure all the way around, in line with the belly, have a little look as to what it might be, and then you're going to be writing this down. Our next spot is going to be our bum, and we want to go around the widest, biggest part of our bum if possible. So again, find that space, go all the way around, make sure that it is in a nice straight line, check it off here, measure it, write it down, okay? We're then going to go for our arms. Now we're going around the top part and the biggest part of your arms. Now your arms tend to be the place that you won't see as much difference, but you might do, who knows. So again, with your measurements with your arm, can be a little bit trickier, which is why it's quite nice to have someone to help you out, if you have someone to help you out, or if I'm doing it for you as well, that's always a good option. So standing up nice and tall, get it into one hand, measure around the biggest section, and again, just have a little check on it before you write down. And we're going to be doing both arms. It doesn't matter which order you do it in, whatever works for you. Our last two measurements are our thighs. So again, what we're looking for is the widest part of our thigh. We're going to go all the way around. Make sure that you're in a nice straight line before you take your measurement. Check what your measurement says, and again, write it down. So very simply, we're taking our bust, we're taking our waist, we're taking our bum, both thighs, both arms. And it's very important you do both arms and both thighs, because you might have, and it's very common, to have a little bit of a difference. So you might have one arm that's slightly bigger than the other, or one thigh that's slightly bigger than the other. And our aim is to see if we can try and get some inch loss there. So it's up to you. You can take all of these measurements in centimetres if you prefer. Centimetres, you'll find that you'll get a bigger loss. You'll find that you're going to be losing a little bit more because it's a smaller measurement. Or you can go for inches. But whatever you do, you need to make sure it is consistent, okay? So once you've done your measurements, the second thing you need to do is the before pictures. Now, I 100% would only do these once at the beginning, and then once we've done the program, do it at the end. Try not to do these too often. These are for you. And I personally found these really beneficial because I can see the progress. Now, it's up to you what you wear, these are for you. My biggest recommendation is wear as little as possible or as tight as possible, because it's gonna get, you know, if you're not wearing that much, it's gonna give you a true reflection. Now, I'm not suggesting that you do these nudies. I'm suggesting perhaps when I do all my pictures, I always have the same sports bra on, and I will either wear small shorts or big pants. That means that I can look back, I can check my progress. So the way that you take your pictures, now if you do not have someone to take pictures for you, then you just do a selfie in the mirror. If you've got a long length mirror, that is perfect. All we need to do is have a front, a side, and then a back. And it's quite good if you do separate your arms out. You can have them by your side, but if you're doing this with your arms, it's going to cover up your body, which you might want to do to start off with, but you're not going to see all that brilliant progress that you've made come the end of the course if you're covering up your body. So just nice, relaxed, neutral arms. You can have them a little bit separated, great. And then, as I said, in those free positions, because what you might find is it doesn't look like you made that much difference from the front, but you might think the side and the back have made huge progress. So it's really, really important to make sure that you get all three of those. The other thing that that I do suggest if you've got scales is check out the scales, look at the scales and look at what your weight is. Now with Kickstart, we try not to put all the emphasis on the weight that's on your scales because it fluctuates. And also what you might find is that you are toning, you are losing inches, but muscle does weigh more than fat. So as you become more muscle, as your muscles getting toned, you might find that you're not getting the weight loss that you want, but actually the inches are coming in, and that is what's most important. So scales are a great way to do it. I still use scales. I still like to see where I'm measuring up. I know what I kind of, where my set point is, and I know if I put on weight or lost weight. So for me, I quite like it, but it is very, very individual, and do not rely on the scales. Scales are for fish, not for us. So absolutely, if you wish to do scales, then by all means do. But the most important is going to be those measurements, because the inch loss is going to be what you're going to notice most and foremost. So once you've done your measurements, I want them, okay? This is not because I'm nosy. I'm not going to do anything with them. I promise you it is fully confidential. What I want is accountability. If you have sent me your measurements, you are much more likely to be accountable. You are much more likely to work that a little bit harder to make sure that when you've got your next lot of measurements, that you're going to smash it and then you're going to get there. And you're going to have that much better inch loss. It's all about accountability. Let me be accountable for you. So let me be that person that you have to check in with, and you're going to give me your results. And I know that this program works, and I know that it's going to hopefully work for you guys as well. As long as you stick with it, we've got this, you can do this. It's going to be really, really beneficial. So send me your measurements, very, very important. Keep hold of your pictures. Don't show them to anyone just yet. Keep them for yourself. And at the end of the course, I promise you, it's going to be like a ta-da moment. It's going to be like, woohoo, look at me, check me out. So yes, as I said, send in, post me your all your measurements, chest, tummy, bum, thighs, arms. Make sure you got it all written down somewhere super important, somewhere super safe. I always take a picture of it as well, because I lose things sometimes. So I totally take a picture of my own. Don't worry, I won't be, as I said, I won't be losing yours. I won't be doing anything with yours, but all I want you to do is send them to me once you've got all of your measurements down. Okay, if you have any questions, this is what I'm here for. Please, please ask. If not, good luck for your measurements. Make sure you send them over to me. You can send them via Facebook, or you can send them via email, njfitnessandmassage@outlook.com. Send them over and let's get our program started. So, as I said, do it first thing in the morning, or whatever time you're going to be able to do it. Make sure it's always consistent the next time you do it and the next time you do it. Okay? Right, let me know how you get on. Thanks.